Otto Warburg and Himalayan Qigong, Episode 2, When Science Meets Ancient Wisdom. Hello, welcome back. In Episode 1, we met Otto Warburg, the man who spent his life studying the flame within cells. And we learned what he discovered. Cancer cells consume sugar like crazy, 70 times more than normal cells. Warburg believed this was due to damaged mitochondria, due to lack of oxygen. Modern science says he was wrong about the mechanism, but right about the principle. Cells need oxygen to stay healthy. And at the end of Episode 1, I took you somewhere else, the Himalayas, snow mountains, where ancient masters spoke of something called vital energy. Today, we'll explore. What is vital energy? Is it oxygen? And why, despite being thousands of years apart, despite being thousands of miles apart, did Warburg and the Himalayan masters speak of the same thing? Let's begin. Vital energy, not mystical but scientific. There's a word in Sanskrit, prana, in Chinese, qi, in Vietnamese, sin ki, vital energy, 3 different languages, but pointing to the same thing. In the Himalayan Qigong tradition, it's said that there's an invisible energy flow circulating throughout the universe. It's in the air, in water, in sunlight. When you breathe in, you bring vital energy into your body. When vital energy flows smoothly, you're healthy. When vital energy is blocked, you become ill. Sounds mystical, doesn't it? But now, let's hear what science says. In 1774, an English chemist named Joseph Priestley discovered a new gas. He called it dephlogisticated air. A few years later, Antoine Lavoisier in France named it oxygen, O2. And Lavoisier discovered, when we breathe, we inhale oxygen. Oxygen enters the blood. Blood carries oxygen to every cell. Cells use oxygen to burn food, creating energy. No oxygen, no energy. No energy, no life. Do you see it? The Himalayan masters said, the body needs vital energy. Lavoisier said, the body needs oxygen. Warburg said, cells need oxygen for mitochondria to function. 3 people, 3 different eras, but speaking of the same thing. Vital energy isn't a mystical concept. Vital energy is oxygen. It's just that ancient people didn't have a scientific name for it, but they felt it. They knew it was important. And they found ways to bring more oxygen into the body through deep breathing. Why does the brain need so much oxygen? For you to understand why oxygen, or vital energy, is so important, let me tell you about the brain. Your brain weighs about 1.3 kilograms, only 2% of your body weight. But guess what? The brain uses 20% of the oxygen you breathe in. 20%. Why? Because the brain works non-stop. Every second, billions of neurons are communicating with each other, sending electrical signals, processing information, thinking, feeling, remembering. All of this requires energy, lots of energy. And to create energy, the brain needs oxygen. If the brain lacks oxygen for 3 minutes, neurons begin to die. 5 minutes, severe damage. 10 minutes, possible brain death. That's why, when someone stops breathing, emergency care must be immediate. Every second counts. But here's the interesting thing. It's not just complete oxygen deprivation that's dangerous. Chronic mild oxygen deficiency is also harmful. When the brain doesn't get enough oxygen, even just a little less, you'll feel tired, difficulty concentrating, memory decline, easily irritated. And here's the problem. Most of us breathe shallowly. The price of shallow breathing. Try this experiment, right now. Put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Breathe normally as you usually do. Observe, which hand moves more? If the hand on your chest moves more, you're breathing shallowly. This is how most of us breathe, especially when sitting at work. When stressed, When anxious, we only use the upper part of our lungs, about 30 to 40% of lung capacity. The remaining 60 to 70% not being used. What does this mean? It means we're running our lungs in economy mode. Less oxygen in, less oxygen to cells. Mitochondria aren't fully nourished. Warburg would say, this is precisely the problem. The Himalayan masters would say, vital energy cannot reach the snow mountain center. Both are right, and this is where Himalayan Qigong comes in. The breathing secret from the snow mountains. There's a story told, thousands of years ago, on the high peaks of the Himalayas. Monks discovered something. When they breathed shallowly, the body was weak. When they breathed deeply, the body was strong. But deep breathing alone wasn't enough. You had to breathe the right way. They discovered, if you breathe into the chest, air only goes to the upper part of the lungs, low efficiency. But if you breathe into the lower belly, 3 fingers below the navel, air is pulled all the way to the bottom of the lungs, much higher efficiency. They called this location the snow mountain center. Modern science calls it the diaphragm region. The diaphragm is a large sheet of muscle, located right below the lungs, shaped like an umbrella. When you inhale deeply, the diaphragm contracts, pushes downward, creates strong suction pressure, pulls air all the way to the bottom of the lungs. When you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, pushes air out. This is called diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing, and here's the miracle. When you breathe diaphragmatically correctly, you can use 80 to 90% of lung capacity, almost all of it. 2 to 3 times more oxygen than shallow breathing. More oxygen to cells. Mitochondria work better. Energy increases. Warburg would smile seeing this. What does science prove? Now, you might ask, is this just theory? No, science has proven it. In 2002, a study at Cleveland Clinic in the US, they compared 2 groups of people. Group 1, normal shallow breathing. Group 2, practice diaphragmatic breathing 10 minutes daily. After 8 weeks, what happened? The diaphragmatic breathing group had blood pressure decreased significantly. Heart rate slowed down, more stable. Stress levels dropped sharply. Sleep improved noticeably. And most importantly, blood oxygen levels increased. In 2022, another study in Thailand, they examined people practicing meditation combined with deep breathing. The result? BDNF levels increased. What's BDNF? Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, brain nerve growth factor. Think of it as fertilizer for the brain. It helps create new neural connections, protects neurons, improves memory and learning. When you breathe deeply correctly, the brain is better nourished. In 2021, a study in India, they studied people practicing yoga and pranayama, the art of deep breathing. They discovered deep breathing increases mitochondrial health. That's right, mitochondria. What Warburg spent his life studying. Deep breathing helps mitochondria function better, produce more energy, even create new mitochondria. Do you see? What the Himalayan masters taught thousands of years ago, nourishing vital energy through deep breathing, is now confirmed by science. This isn't mysticism. This is pure physiology. Mitochondria, the cell's power plant. Let's go back to Warburg for a moment. He spent his life studying mitochondria. He wanted to understand how cells create energy. And he discovered mitochondria are the key. What are mitochondria? Imagine each of your cells as a house. Inside that house, there are hundreds, even thousands of tiny power plants. Those are mitochondria. They take oxygen, they take glucose, sugar from food, then they burn them, creating ATP, the body's energy currency. Every second, the mitochondria in your body create billions of ATP molecules. Your heart beats, needs ATP. Your brain thinks, needs ATP. Your muscles contract, need ATP. Your cells divide, need ATP. Everything needs energy. and energy comes from mitochondria. But for mitochondria to work, they need two things. 1. Glucose. This is easy. You eat and you have it. 2. Oxygen. And this is the important thing. Without oxygen, mitochondria can't work efficiently. They're forced to switch to a less efficient method, fermentation. And this is exactly what Warburg was concerned about. When cells starve for oxygen, Warburg believed, when cells lack oxygen for prolonged periods, mitochondria weaken, and this is the first step toward disease. He wasn't completely right about cancer. We know that now. But he was right about the general principle. When cells lack oxygen, even if not to the point of causing cancer, many problems still occur. Chronic fatigue. You always feel exhausted even after adequate sleep. Cognitive decline. Difficulty concentrating. Poor memory. Weakened immune system. Easy to catch colds. Illnesses drag on. Slow wound healing. Injuries take longer to recover. Rapid aging. Cells age earlier than normal. All share a common cause. Cells aren't fully nourished with oxygen. And the solution? The Himalayan masters knew long ago. Breathe deeply, correctly, regularly. Snow Mountain Center. The heart of vital energy in Himalayan Qigong. There's an important concept. The Snow Mountain Center. Where is it? 3 fingers below the navel, deep inside the belly. Ancient people believed this is where vital energy is stored. When vital energy is full at the Snow Mountain Center, the body is healthy. When this area is weak, the whole body weakens too. Modern science doesn't have the concept of Snow Mountain Center, but we have the diaphragm. And guess what? When you breathe deeply into the lower belly, exactly at the Snow Mountain Center location, the diaphragm works maximally. Lungs expand completely. Maximum oxygen intake. But there's more. This lower belly area, where the Snow Mountain Center is, has many large blood vessels. The aorta, the vena cava, the vascular system going to every organ. When you breathe deeply here, you create gentle pressure. Massage the blood vessels. Help blood circulate better. Better blood circulation. Oxygen reaches cells faster, and organs are better nourished. So the Snow Mountain Center isn't a mystical location. It's an actual anatomical area, where the diaphragm and vascular system meet. Ancient people didn't know scientific terms, but they knew. Breathing there has effects, and they were right. The bridge between two worlds. So now we see clearly. Warburg in Berlin studied mitochondria under a microscope. He said, cells need oxygen. The Himalayan masters practiced on snow mountains. They said, the body needs vital energy. 2 different paths, but arriving at the same destination. Vital energy is oxygen. Snow Mountain Center is the diaphragm region. Deep breathing is the way to bring more oxygen to cells. Healthy mitochondria are the result of nourishing vital energy. This is the miracle of human wisdom. Even without microscopes, even without laboratories, humans still found the truth. Through observation, through practice, through feeling. And when science develops, we don't deny ancient wisdom. We explain it, we confirm it, and we make it more accessible. The lesson for us. So after knowing all this, what do we learn? Lesson 1. Oxygen isn't a luxury. We take air for granted. It's available, free, always there. But how you breathe determines how much oxygen reaches your cells. Shallow breathing, less oxygen. Deep breathing, more oxygen. It's that simple. Lesson 2. Your body knows how to heal itself if you give it what it needs. Oxygen, nutrition, rest. Mitochondria will work better. Cells will be healthier. The body will be stronger. You don't need miracle drugs. You just need the basics, done correctly. Lesson 3. Ancient wisdom doesn't oppose science. Warburg and the Himalayan masters don't contradict each other. They complement each other. One side gives us understanding. One side gives us methods. Combining both, we have real power. End of episode 2. So that's the end of episode 2. We've explored vital energy and learned that it is oxygen. We've understood why the brain needs so much oxygen, 20% of the oxygen we breathe in. We've seen the problem of shallow breathing and the solution from Himalayan Qigong. We've seen science confirm deep breathing truly improves mitochondria, increases BDNF, nourishes the brain. And we've understood the Snow Mountain Center isn't a mystical concept, but an actual anatomical area. But the story isn't over yet. In episode 3, we'll go even deeper. What other benefits does deep breathing bring? From cellular level to the whole body? What exactly has science proven? And most importantly, how to practice correctly, safely, effectively? See you again in episode 3. And from now until then, try this. Every day, spend 5 minutes. Sit down, put your hand on your belly, and breathe deeply. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly contracts. Just 5 minutes, but your 37 trillion cells will thank you. See you soon. End of episode 2.